All right, let's try and get back to this thing, shall we? Apparently I talk too much. I'm sorry. I got a lot to say, and I spend so much time by myself. I'm sorry. I like to talk. I'll try not to, all right? Anywho, what I decided to try and do with this motor is try and save it, because all of the bearings look like they're going to be totally fine. Well, I think they will be. We'll find out, I guess, right? Basically, the bottom end of the motor looks to be completely fine. So basically gonna rebuild this thing. Well, rebuild, because we're not gonna touch the heads or the bearings, but pretty much everything else is gonna be going through on this. For starters, started cleaning this drain pan out. And look, I can actually see the pan now. But look at this. That is, I mean, can you see that? These are like, it's thick. That's solid too. Look at this. You'd swear it's a piece of plastic, but no, that's oil. That is literally oil. Look at, breaks the trunks. That's what was clogging up the oil pickup. That's why it's so important to change your oil. I'm gonna finish cleaning out this pan, but let me show you something real quick. I'll show you what I got going on over here. Clean off my bench, so I have a nice clean work area so I can do this the correct way. I think I've got everything covered. I got two different carburetor choices. Yeah, in case you didn't notice, by now, I'm going with aluminum intake. Just because, you know, it's a part and it's going to clean up the engine bay a little bit and give a little bit more throttle response, etc., etc. Well, I'll get back to that in a minute. Two different carburetor choices. Not sure which one I'm going with yet, Holley or Edelbrock. I had both these on hand, so hey, we'll decide. I've got a Melling Performance camshaft made in USA, so it might be a good one. We'll see. Got a Melling timing chain set. We got a new oil pump. We got a new oil pump pickup. We've got all the gaskets. Got a new fuel pump. Got a new water pump. Got the battery. Got lifters. Got assembly lube. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but yeah. Got a whole pile of parts I need to clean up and make pretty again. Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy a new set of push rods still, because that one was bent. And I don't know, should I just buy one or should I buy a whole set? I don't know. But that's what I got going on right now. I'm gonna get started on cleaning this oil pan. I'll show you one more thing real quick. Scale. This scale works awesome. I've had it forever. This is all I used to use on eBay for a while. But right at 22 pounds is what the aluminum intake weighs. All right, you ready for this? I left the EGR on here because I'm getting rid of it. So I'm counting this in the weight. You ready for it? 50 pounds. 50 pounds. I'm gonna knock 28 pounds off this motor. That's insane, just by swapping out the intake. So, not that it's gonna matter much on this car, but crazy how much weight you save just by swapping out to aluminum intake. It's insane. If that was like a big block, like 429, 460, it'd be even more. Or even an FE motor. Those intakes are insane. Because they actually have like part of it that goes under the valve cover and completes part of the head. They're insanely heavy. I think they're like 100 pounds or something. But I'm gonna get this oil pan cleaned out so I get that knocked out of the way. And that's what I got time for today. So I'll get this knocked out and then yeah. I would definitely go out on a limb here and say that's a little bit better. What do you guys think? A little bit better? I think so. I think that'll work out great. Another thing I discovered when I took this apart, it had a new timing chain put in at some point, which still makes me believe that this motor was possibly replaced or rebuilt at some point in its life. they just didn't keep up with the oil changes, I guess. I'm assuming that's what happened to the first motor. Is the same thing that happened to the second one, or same thing that happened to this one after they went through it. I don't know, because oil pan, valve covers, timing cover, all that was off of this motor previously. And it did have a newer timing chain in it. The timing chain didn't have a bunch of wear in it. And how you know it was a replacement timing chain is it had a steel gear in it instead of the nylon gear that these originally came with. Oh, some other little tidbits, like there was some mismatched hardware here and there that didn't make sense. Like exhaust manifold bolts, like there was one or two that were like hardware store quality bolts and not factory ones. So I'm pretty sure this motor was replaced or rebuilt at some point in its life. And chances are, if it was the original owner, they probably still didn't keep up on those oil changes. That's just, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. They just didn't give a shit. So, oh, I know you guys love to hear about my issues. Hurt my back a couple days ago. It really hurts. Anyways, even getting out of a chair is it's a mofo right now. Anywho, I started wire brushing the engine so I could paint it. Figured I'd start there, clean things up. Just, oh, that hurt. That hurt sitting down. I'm not joking. As you can tell, engine's been repainted. Like I said, thought this engine was either rebuilt or replaced. I'm leaning towards rebuilt because it's got a Dorman. Well, it's got the Dorman freeze plug in the back, and to my knowledge, Ford didn't put Dorman freeze plugs in their blocks. And I believe right here is a partial VIN stamp that matches the car. So this is the original engine. Hey, it's numbers matching engine, yeah. It just doesn't make a big deal. It's not like a Mach 1 Mustang or something. But this is a numbers matching engine of this car. So it looks like it was rebuilt at some point. I'm guessing someone just didn't keep up with their oil changes a couple times now. That's what my guts tell me. Someone just did not keep up with their oil changes. So started wire brushing everything to clean everything up, and so I can paint this thing. And I keep getting deeper and deeper into this motor. Yesterday I had a storage locker buddy that lives a few hours away drop off a bunch of Ford parts that he found in a storage locker. I thought it was all big block Ford stuff. It ended up being a couple sets of big block Ford heads, but there's two 351 Cleveland motors and one set of 351 Cleveland heads, and they're the good, like DOAE or D0AEN heads. So they're the closed chamber heads. Yeah, they got some decent value. And then I started thinking I should just go through those heads and put them on here. And I'm like, I'll probably have to change the intake and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, screw it. It's just pointless to put in this car that I'm probably going to sell. So why should I put a $1,000 set of core heads into a car I'm just going to sell that doesn't really have a ton of value? So anyways, everything kind of snowballs. But I do have two 351 Cleveland short blocks and a set of really good 351 Cleveland heads now. So future project maybe, who knows. Get this finished up and see how far I can get today. My we got a snowpocalypse 2025 happening right now. We got a whopping 1/4 inch of snow so far, and my son has an e-learning day, just completely asinine in my eyes. They said snowfall may possibly impact, when the kids get out of school later this afternoon, so they canceled school for today, which is crazy because I got a friend in one of the Discords I'm in. She's in Minnesota. It's -33 right now. They got like over a foot of snow on the ground. Her kids went to school. Anywho, everybody says I talk about my life too much, so let's talk about motors. Threw this guy on here just so I don't want to get a bunch of crud in the cam bearings. got most of this cleaned up. Let's clean it up pretty good. Basically got almost the entirety of the block cleaned up. Still got to do the back of this head and everything on that side. So I'm gonna get that done. Was using this wire brush and a cordless drill, but the cordless kept getting really hot, so I switched to a corded drill. This guy is Hitachi. So, all right, well, I'll get back at it. I'll give it a once over, see how I did thus far. I think I'd still like to get in around those spark plug holes a little bit. But now I'm going to start getting a little picky, get a little bit of OCD in me. Just a little bit. That's just coolant. Every time I tilt this motor, more coolant comes out of it. It looks pretty good. Just got to get around those spark plug holes a little more. A little better. Did both sides. It's all good. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. Now it's ready for a fresh coat of paint. All right, another day. Lots of snow outside, and my son doesn't have e-learning today. Go figure. Anyways, I'm gonna wipe this block down with some acetone and try and throw some paint on it so I can tell myself that I made some progress. Got it all wiped down with the acetone. I'm gonna throw a quick coat of paint on it. I just threw the valve covers and intake just to sitting on there just to block off the valley pan and the cylinder heads. Same as this guy. Just don't want to get paint where it doesn't need to be, pretty much. Oh, and the housing. Didn't throw an oil pan on it, but I should be okay. I need to straighten out these valve covers because when I lifted the engine out, it put like dents in them on either side. So I'm definitely gonna have to straighten these out. Oh, all right. Throw some paint on here, and that way I have a good base coat down. I just wanted to give the paint a fighting chance to actually stay on the motor. Makes sense, right? See, that looks better, I think. See, now it actually feels like I'm making actual progress. So I basically polished the turd at this point, but now it's a blue turd instead of a brown turd. It'll work out. Now I just need to put everything back together. I'm still waiting on push rods, but I think I have everything else. So I'm gonna get this camshaft lubed up and shove it in its hole. I threw a little bit longer bolt on it, give me a little bit of control over it. So, let's see what happens, I guess. All right, camshaft is in. I do need to torque the thrust plate bolts. I believe they're only around 10 foot-pounds, so don't go to town tightening these things. And always use a torque wrench if possible when you're putting an engine together. Timing chain. This is also made in USA, so that's kind of nice. So as far as the camshaft goes, I did not upgrade the springs since I don't think the cam was that crazy of a profile. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be surprised if this motor ever sees over 5,000 RPM. So, you know, it's not going to be like a crazy high horsepower motor by any means. It's, but it'll hopefully have a nice idle. So, yeah, that's the important part, right? Nice lopey idle. Well, here is the timing chain. Went with the double roller variety. Because why not, you know? The adjustable keyways. We're just going to use that 0 one, the top dead center. This is the back side, so it goes this way. Make sure you line up these dots. with each other. There's the one on the cam gear. And there's the one on the crank gear. Well, pretty straightforward. Just when you put it together, make sure that those dots are facing each other. Pretty simple. Now if you want to install the crank gear so that the timing is advanced or retarded, well then you line up the R with the dot if you want to retard it. If you want to advance it, line up the A with the dot. But we'll be fine with the standard timing. I believe so. Let's get it together, I guess. You know, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. I forgot something. I forgot to put thread locker on the thrust plate bolts. It is recommended, so I got to pull some stuff back apart. All right, timing chain is on. Camshaft is on. Well, duh. Inside the block don't look bad, actually. Like I'm looking in there, it don't look bad. Like the coolant passages. A little bit of crud up here I can clean out. But, you know, inside the block it don't look bad. I rotated it around a couple times to make sure everything's, you know, lined up where it should be. And, yep, tiny marks are good. I don't know if it's just me, but this don't seem right to me. That don't seem like the right seal. Even holding it up here, it doesn't feel to be the right size. Like the original seems to be slightly smaller diameter. All right, well, supposedly this is the correct seal. Goes in like that. I did find some sort of socket that fits over that, but I got someone here right now to pick something up, so I'll go take care of that first. Well, he's still trying to find the door, I guess, but it worked out pretty good. Whatever the socket's for. Spindle nut socket. All right, 2.5 inch. That worked out great. Got someone coming over here to look at some stuff. But, see, this is one of those do as I say, not as I do moments. What I should have done was labeled and separated all of the hardware when I took it out, not just drop it into a container. Because now I need to sort through everything and figure out what goes where. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I'm used to putting together a small block Ford, so I recognize all the hardware. I don't know what's... Today, my plan is to replace this rear main seal, install the oil pump and pickup, and get the rest of the gasket material off of here. Slight little tinge of copper showing, ever so slightly. It's not terrible at all. Talking about the bearing, should be good. There was a lot of oil in there, so I don't think the main bearings ran dry. So this is the main seal right here. This one's easy to get out. The other half, let's see here. The other half is right here. See it there. So obviously you can't just pull it out because the crankshaft's in the way. So you need to get a punch, preferably a brass one, and basically hammer it out. Basically push on the one end and it'll come out the other. That's how it should work, we hope. Fortunately, I did not have a brass one, but I did have one small enough. It was pretty easy. Just tapped on a little bit. See, popped in and it came out the other side. You should be able to just slide it out, rest it away. There we go. Come on. Maybe. Come on. I need 2 hands. Well, I screwed up. I never picked up a main seal. Yep. Well, got the seal from Napa. kind of funny story. So we got a Napa distribution center slash store across the street from O'Reilly's distribution center slash store, and I knew Napa had the rear main seal. I also need to get the rest of the intake manifold gaskets, and Napa did not have it, so I figured I'll try out O'Reilly's. O'Reilly said they had it, so I went there, and like, yep, we got it. It's in our distribution center, and we gotta have it here by 12:30. And this is at like 11 o'clock, and I'm staring at him. I'm like, wait, isn't your distribution center part of the same building? He's like, well, it's next door. I'm like, but it's the same building. I was like, yeah, technically. I'm like, so why do I have to wait nearly an hour and a half to get it? Well, that's just standard wait time. I'm like, it's in the same building. Their storefront is on the same building as their distribution center. Why do I have to wait 90 minutes to get the part? I didn't understand it. So I went across the street to Napa to see if they had the intake manifold set, just for the heck of it. And no, they can't get it till Tuesday. So I'm like, all right, well, going back to O'Reilly's and order it. And he's like, yeah, it'd be about a 90-minute wait. I'm like, I'm just gonna pick it up on my way home. It was I don't know, it's just dumb. But see, here's the thing: if you get a part from the Napa and it's in their distribution center, they tell you it'd be a 3 to 5 minute wait, and someone like sends it down a chute, and while you're standing there, and go on your merry way. So I don't know, man. Just, there's better ways to do things, I guess. And of course, installation is pretty much the opposite of removal, and it just slides right in. A little tighter than it was coming out, which is good, because the original was kind of it was kind of brittle, really brittle. Yeah, I should mention that don't put it in dry. Make sure you put a little bit of oil on the seal when you put it in, because you don't want that going in dry, otherwise it'll just tear right away when you put it together. So this isn't something you have to do, it's something you could do, a little extra precaution. Take a little bit of RTV, a little dab here, a little tiny dab here, a little tiny dab there, just to help, you know, help aid in sealing those gaskets together. But, yeah, well, get this main cap back on and eat some lunch, and I'll torque it after lunch because I'm hungry. So the main caps, you got to torque to 105 foot-pounds. I'll make sure you have a good enough torque wrench for that one. All right, rear main seal's done. Got the main caps torqued to 105. Should be good to go. I'm gonna spin this around just to make sure I didn't screw anything up, I guess. Right, that'd be a good idea. Oh yeah, we're fine. All right. And next, get the oil pump installed, then the pickup, and see where I'm at. I know I really should replace the oil pump drive, but I don't see any issues with this one. You could usually tell if they're twisted. It'll, you know, just look down the, you know, look down it lengthwise. This one's fine. It's gonna be totally fine. I don't see any issues if we're using it. Notice how it's got this little like washer on here, like a stop washer. That goes towards the engine side, because what it does is, well, I'll put it in here and try to figure it out here. So, a hole for the oil pump drive. So what it does is keeps, well, let's say you pull the distributor out, you don't pull the shaft out with it, like, or it stops it. So if you put it in this way, facing the oil pump, and, you know, and you go to pull the distributor out, and let's say the shaft comes with it, well, then, you know, it's going to slide all the way up in there, and then you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get it back in the oil pump. So that just keeps it from popping out. I remember this goes towards the distributor basically. And And see how that shaft can't go anywhere now, basically. So it's in there, it's good to go. These you only tighten down about 25 foot-pounds. I couldn't fit a torque wrench in there, so I just did my best guesstimate with a wrench. You do not want to put RTV on the surface, because again, if RTV gets into your oil system, it'd be catastrophic. Like, you can't get RTV in here, it'd be horrible. Which made me realize something on the old oil pump. Oh, I wonder if you can see it here. You guys see what that is on the threads? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, damn it. This is not cool. You guys see what that is on the threads there? Yeah, they put RTV in the threads for the oil pickup. You ain't supposed to do that. That's not good. Well, yeah, let's not do that, all right? Found all of the oil pan bolts and threw them in some degreaser. Let them chill for a while, make it easier to clean them up. I was gonna try to throw the oil pan on, but I remembered I still need to clean up the rest of the oil pan. So I got time for this today, and that's where I'm gonna stop, I think. I got some stuff I gotta pay. Ooh, pretty. Oh, camera's only at 5%. I tripped over that. Clean up these valve covers real quick. Just want to make mention. And this is why it takes me so long to do things. These valve covers, man. Tell you what. I hit them with a wire brush for like a half hour. I hammered out these dents in the sides as best I could. I peeled the stickers off. I straightened out the flanges, because when people over tighten these things, it pulls the like the hole, it like dimples out the holes. So I straightened those out. But I don't know, I try to make things, I try to leave things looking better than how I found them. That's just how I am. I can't just, throw a rusty, cruddy looking motor back in something. Especially this. This is a nice car. But we're getting there. Cleaned up the intake, painted it. Block, I think we went over that. Again, did the same to the oil pan, hit it with a wire brush, degreased it, all that, painted it. Looks good enough. Nobody's gonna see it. It's on our damn car. Why am I going through all this trouble? It's just how I am. It's what I do. I gotta make things look better than how I found them. Just how it is. Oh, that's in. I'm probably gonna throw the lifters and the push rods and the rockers in the motor right now, because push rods finally came. So probably get that buttoned up. Been here all day. It's Saturday. I've been here all day with my son. All afternoon. Not all day, just all afternoon. I was had a couple people I had to meet. All right. That. All right. I'll grab the lifters and get those oiled up and dropped in. I'll grab the push rods and the rockers, and the motor should be pretty much ready for final assembly after that. I think so. Find out, right? All right, get the rockers on. Just gotta torque them down. Rockers only get torqued down about 20 foot-pounds. No Loctite on the bolts, just engine oil. Only take care of that, because I got 16 of them to do. Alright, had my favorite helper over here help me. I showed him how to use a torque wrench, and we got these all torqued down. So long block should be pretty much ready to go. I just need to bolt on the accessories, intake, the valve covers, oil pan, timing cover, water pump, yada yada yada. So he's begging me to let him paint something, so I'm gonna let him paint this heater tube and maybe the water pump. I don't know, might not be left. Might not be enough left in there. We'll see. Hey bud, come here. So there's not a lot left in here. There should be enough to paint this.
Okay.
You want to do, don't just go like this, all right? You got to go even like this. I'll go.
Okay.
Like that, all right?
All right, so there should be a hole.
Make sure you're facing it away from you, yeah.
Okay.
That's facing away from you, all right?
The hole is where it comes out.
Yeah. No.
I can't tell where it's going.
It's not enough. See, like this, go. You gotta hold it more even, like this.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
I can't tell where to shoot.
Try not to get it on the switch too much. More of the metal, just the metal. But here, you gotta hold it level.
I'm holding it.
Get that finger out from underneath and from in front of it.
Where do I put it? Just down?
Off to the side.
Like that?
Yeah. Oh no. So you gotta, go like that.
And then I think that's good on this side.
Hold on. There's not a lot left in here, so.
Can please paint something else?
Well, if I have more paint, actually we'll try to paint something black, okay? Because I got black left.
Yay!
I just want to, here, hold this.
And it's something I can choose.
Here, hold this, just hold this.
Oh, it's eating right.
I'll get the black for you, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't want to spray, there's not a lot left in here. I gotta get more. I just got it on my finger.
Okay. The two barrels and like the handle thing remind me of it for some reason.
We don't talk about that on YouTube, bud. That'll get me demonetized.
Okay, sorry.
Especially not from a child. So.
Do we have to make a different video?
No, I could change it.
Oh, just to edit it out?
Yeah.
Oh. Only me saying it, please.
Better, but you wanna. There you go. That's better. Granted, these are just motor mounts. So I don't have to look perfect, but and watch how don't get on your finger on the side there. Okay. See how you're just holding in one spot and squirting around?
I'm moving it around.
I know, but I'm trying to teach you how to do it. But see how it all built up there? Now it's running down the side.
Sorry.
These are just motor mounts, so it doesn't matter. But I'm trying to. You're going way fast. This is why I'm not good at teaching you stuff because I get all like jumpy and.
Sorry, because I'm trying to move it around.
I know. You got to learn how to do your fingers, but not squiggly lines, just straight lines. It's better.
Hang on, I want to try something.
What?
I don't know. No, I need to move it back.
All right.
Just trying to draw it in.
Oh, don't get on that one. That was better. There you go. Just quick. Not super quick, you know.
Sorry. Oh, that side.
That's better. See how much better that works?
Yeah. I think that's good.
Let me see.
Wait, hang on, back. Hang on, let me try something.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Okay, good. I want to draw something on the mat.
Hold this. Don't hold it at your face.
I won't. I'm sorry. I want to draw something on the cardboard.
In a minute, all right?
Okay. I'm also probably gonna go get something there. I want to spray paint. Oh, okay.
And this is just me because I can't put nobody will ever see this part again. Like nobody.
Oh.
But I'm just.
You're doing it for the sake of me?
Yeah, more so me because it's like. Well, I'm trying to teach you how to do stuff, but.
So it's not for you.
Well, listen, this is a motor mounter, right?
Yeah.
And when this is installed on the car, nobody will ever see it again, ever.
Yes.
So what's the point of painting it?
There isn't, but
exactly.
But it's just for me, so I can have fun.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna.
No, it's not for you to have fun. It's because I know. Listen.
I know. I want to get something.
Listen to me.
I will.
It's because I know that part is rusty looking.
Oh.
It's gonna bother me, like, because I'm better than that. I'm gonna leave something better than how I found it.
Yeah. Okay.
So the next person that gets this, they'll be like, "Wow, they actually took the time and paid to the motor mounts."
Yeah.
See?
Yes.
Understand?
Okay, I'm gonna get this thing. I want to paint. I don't want to paint the entire thing, just the tip.
No, we're not painting my tools. Okay. Wants to paint my tools. Really? Really wants to paint my tools.
I want to take something home, okay?
We're not taking something home to paint, though.
Fine. I'll wash my hands.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Daddy,
What?
you said you'd get the crate of Hot Wheels.
Yes, I did. I will get the crate of Hot Wheels. Yes, I will get the crate of Hot Wheels. I have patience for teaching himself sometimes. Like, because he almost sprayed himself in the face. It's not cool. You can almost spray yourself. I tell him, point it that way. He points it towards himself and almost sprayed himself in the face. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Oh. Maybe it gets a little bit older. It'll be a little easier, right? Right, a little easier when it gets a little older. Because he's so intelligent. And he just wants to you give him like a little piece of something, like start to show him something, and then he just wants to take over and show you that he's doing it the right way, and he just needs to like slow down and he needs to slow down and let himself learn, basically. But it's hard. It's hard. He's really intelligent. But anyways, lost my train of thought. Choo choo. Oil pan's painted. Valve covers are painted. Valve covers came out really nice too. I think they did. Valve covers came out great. Heater tube is painted. Heater crossover tube is that what? Intake's painted. Motor mounts are painted. Ran out of blue paint, so they got to paint the water pump and the timing cover. Said long block is done for pretty much done for the most part. We rotated the motor over a few times, made sure everything was working like it should. Once I get oil pan, timing cover, valve covers on, then we'll prime the oil system. Well, we'll prime the oil system before we start the car, basically. We're not going to do it now. We'll do it before we start the car. Make sure all that's working, because that was the main issue after all, right? So, I'm super happy with this motor. I tell you, it's a pretty fresh motor. Like I said, I don't know if they just didn't clean out the oil pan when they replaced everything or what. That's the feeling I'm getting, is they just didn't clean out the oil pan. Because this motor is super nice inside and clean. But all right, get washed up and see you guys in a little bit, so I can continue on with this saga, I guess. Ooh, pretty. Oh, where did I leave off? Been a few days, a couple days, something like that. I don't know. Pile of parts is getting smaller, so that's good. I think where I left off, I got the lifters, push rods in. I put assembly lube on the lifters, push rods, the rockers, all that. I did not soak the lifters in oil because I plan to prime the engine before I fire it up. So just decided to do it that way. It's the same difference in my mind, anyways. What's left to do on this motor? Well, a lot of, but not really. Timing cover, water pump, oil pan, intake, valve covers, exhaust manifolds. Yeah, all the bits and pieces there. Yeah, so I don't know. I may leave the valve covers off for now, just because I don't want to damage them now that they're freshly painted. Maybe I'll put them on in the car. Actually, you know what? Because of that freaking heater box, it might be a pain. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let me see what order this intake goes on, because it's got the valley pan. You can run it with or without the valley pan. Here, I'll show you what the valley pan is. This guy here. It's actually new old stock Ford gasket set. I may or may not use. I don't know if I'm gonna use that or a new one, whatever. This way. So this is. Come on, get in there. It's got these little like locating pins. They aren't locating. Come on, go. Get in there. Come on, get. All right. This is a valley pan. Don't have to use it, but you can. And what it does, it's kind of, it's actually got kind of a cool use. It keeps the hot oil from splashing up and warming up the bottom of the intake. So it actually has a good usefulness. I don't know how to say it. So that coupled with the aluminum intake, you should have lower intake temperatures, but it's not going to be a huge deal because this isn't like a high horse race motor or anything. So, yeah. Actually, I think this goes the other way. Nope, that's right. But I need to figure out if, yeah, I guess they go underneath. I think the gaskets go here to here, like between the splash pan and the intake. Maybe it's got 4. I don't know. I gotta look. But then, where do the actual exhaust gaskets go? I don't know. I'm gonna go take a look and see if I can figure this out. All right. I think I found all the hardware I need. Threw me for a loop there, as I almost forgot that the center 2 on either side are smaller bolts. So I think I've got them all figured out. Let's throw some RTB on the ends and get this thing together. All right, well, that's a start. Still need to torque them down. The center ones, which are 5/16, I believe, you only torque them down to about 25 foot-pounds. Look, that one's already loose, so I just kind of went through and gave these like a preliminary tightening. That one's already loose, so I'll tell you why in a second. These 2 in the center, 5/16, only torque to about 25 foot-pounds. And these are 3/8, and you tighten them to around 30. It's like a 30 to 32 foot-pounds. When you're tightening down an intake or torquing it down, like do like a crisscross pattern starting from the center and work your way out. I'll show you what I mean. Like, let's say you start with this bolt, and you know this is before you torque them down. Just snug everything down. Don't go to town cranking it down. Just snug everything down. Start with this one, and you go across to this one, go back to this one, go back across to this one, and you can go like back to this one here, and then go across to this one, and you go here, and back over here, and here, back over here, and here, and here. And in theory, what that does, it spreads, it pushes the torque. As you're tightening everything down, it pushes it out, like out towards the ends of the intake. Now, if you start on the ends and work your way towards the center, you run the risk of cracking the intake, because what you're doing is you're pushing all that torque towards the center of the intake, and it's got nowhere to go. It sounds like snake oil, but it's an actual thing. It's got to understand stresses and how they're spread and all that crap. So yeah, so I'm gonna get torque wrench and take care of that. All right, so I went around and torqued everything down once, but you're gonna want to do it twice, because as you're tightening everything down, it's gonna compress the intake in different spots, and you're gonna want to go back and go over everything, because like I said, once you start here, work your way out. It's, yeah, just do it. You'll see. You'll understand. And there we go. Intake manifold is on and torqued down, and should be ready to go. All right. Well, it's been a couple days because I said I had live auctions to go to I ended up buying 5 lockers yesterday. Yeah, so created more work for me, you know. That's all I do is create more work for myself. Anywho, bought myself about 45 minutes today. It was supposed to be longer, but I ended up having to run back and forth somewhere for like 4 times. So yeah, anyways, you don't want to hear about that. You want to see work, you want to see progress. Well, I think I left off at the oil pan, the timing cover, the water pump. So I'm going to start on those right now and see how far I can get. Might make more sense to do the timing cover first. That way I could more easily line up the oil pan with the timing cover. I don't know. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. Let me get some hardware together and try and start on that, I guess. I think I'm going crazy. I just opened the box. Oh, there it is. Fell on the floor. That it? Yep, found it. Never mind. A seal for the oil pan, the front seal. All right, I'm not going crazy after all. Oh, yeah, don't mind me. It's okay to put a little RTV on the oil pan gasket. Just don't go to town. Don't put too much. And I notice I try to keep it to the outside of the gasket instead of the inside because I'm trying not to get RTV inside the motor to clog this guy up. Got the oil pan on. Ended up partially installing the front seal because there's little tabs that go under the oil pan on each side, so I figured that was probably best. I had to wait on the timing cover because I forgot to paint the timing pointer and take care of a couple other things like find the hardware. But that's all the time I have right now, and see you guys back tomorrow. Real quick, oil pan bolts, I believe torque is like 15 to 18 pounds on them. I just do them by feel. If it's your first time put one of these together, don't do it by feel. Do it with a torque wrench. I may have screwed up a little bit. Oh crap, I just dropped the damn gasket again. There's a chance I should have put this on first. I should still be able to install it. It's just be a little trickier. So we'll figure it out in a few minutes here. Well, my camera died, and I didn't realize it died until it was too late. Fuel pump is on. Had a little bit of an issue. I don't know what happened, but this stud on the bottom, it's a bolt and top stud on the bottom. The stud on the bottom stripped out, and I had to replace it. But I robbed one off of this 351 Cleveland short block, so it worked out. Also, I was just test fitting bolts, and I had a couple bolt holes that needed the threads cleaned out. So also got tap and die set out. Got the 5/16 18 tap and ran it through all the holes for the timing cover and water pump. So that should be good to go. But anyone know why fuel pumps always come with 2 gaskets? I can't get a straight answer. And the directions say to install the gasket, not gaskets, so I don't know. Anyone know? Kind of decided to change things up with the balancer a little bit, and I'll show you why in a minute here. And I keep getting sidetracked, but threw the motor mounts on. Because they were laying here cluttering up the desk, so figured why not throw them on there. So my idea, the balancer didn't work out exactly as planned, but you know what? Kind of works, and I'm gonna go with it. I tried to do the opposite. I tried to make just the lettering or the numbers black and the rest gray, but it kind of worked the opposite. And you know what? That's actually really easy to read, so I'm just gonna go with it. It works. Well, oil pan is coming back off. Yay! God damn it! I'm really annoyed at myself right now, but nothing I can do about it now. I'm going to try to stop on the way home and see if Napa has a new oil pan gasket set, because I royally screwed this one up. Not to mention I lost one of the seals. I had an extra one of these because the oil pan came with 2 and the timing cover set came with 1, and I lost one. I don't know where the heck it went. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Yeah, wait. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Oh, something along those lines. I wasn't going to bore you guys with putting the oil pan on again. This one came with the cork gaskets, or this set I bought came with the cork gaskets. I'd rather have the fiber ones. I'm mad at myself that I ripped the fiber ones. Oh well. Happens. Oil pan's on. It's torqued down. It's not going anywhere. Motor mounts are on. Water pump and balancer. Yeah, let's do that. Water pump and balancer. Hey. Oh, water pump's on. I think I got all the bolts in the right places. I guess I'll find out when we bolt on all the accessories. I just noticed that there's a hole in it though, like a threaded hole. I don't remember that being in the original one. At least I didn't take anything out. Oh, the other one here. Oh, there's a threaded plug. I'll have to look around. I don't remember seeing one on the box, so I have to take that out of here. This could be fun to get out. Or just go find another one. Old one came out pretty easy, so I just swapped it over. Put a little bit of sealant around it just to help it out a little bit. Yeah, getting pretty close there. A few more things and should be ready to put this thing back in the car and get it all buttoned up. Oh, I did a couple things without you guys off camera. Sorry. Oh, that almost sucked. I sat on the bumper of the car and almost fell over. That sucked. Alternator brackets are painted and on. Crank pulley is painted and on. Oh, doing the thermostat right now. I cleaned up and painted the thermostat housing. Went to go look for a gasket, and usually thermostats come with gaskets, but this one did not. And then I looked at my timing cover gasket and all that, and started to realize I didn't have one. But I do have this new old stock gasket set from the 70s with these like really brittle like cork gaskets in it that I'm not going to use. And popped it open, and inside this bag of parts was a gasket. So I'm good to go. I just put a little bit of RTV on there. Oh, it should be good. Alright, well, I'm going to get with it. Oh, real quick, what I want to show you. If you're installing a thermostat, make sure this copper pellet side points towards the engine. Like, you know, the visible copper pellet on the bottom. Make sure it points towards the engine no matter which way you install it. Oh, that's the correct way. There is a proper torque for the thermostat housing bolts. I don't remember what it is offhand. I've done these before. I do it by feel. I know when to stop, pretty much. If you've never done one before, by all means use a torque wrench. It's yeah, don't try and feel it out like I do. It's bad things will happen, trust me. I think I'm gonna drop the distributor in just so I don't have a hole here that things could potentially fall into. So I'm gonna clean up that hole down, throw some paint on that too. Did I have to paint everything? No, but come on, look at the car. It's a nice car. It deserves some paint. Probably gonna throw some paint in that crossmember while I'm at it too. So I know. I should take that power steering pump apart and clean that up. I think I might have to at this point. It's I don't think I could tell myself that I can't. Taking a 2-minute pause from working on the motor because I had to clean up around the car to try and prepare for putting the motor back in. There's a giant Ford sign. You kind of see it, Ford. It's like Ford and Mercury, I believe. I thought this thing was 8 feet long. No, it's like 12 or 14 foot long. It's huge. I had this leaning up against the car when it got delivered, so I had to move that over there. Anyways, take a moment to say that the person that won the bench vise claimed it, and it's been delivered to them. They even tried to send me money for shipping, and I said no, that's not how it works. Shipping was like $90 to ship to them, so I'm telling you, this is out of my pocket. This is totally out of my pocket. I didn't want anybody to give me anything for it, so they seem to be super appreciative of it, so that's awesome, and that's what I wanted to see. So I think it's time I give something else away. It's going to be this, brand new in the box, Mighty Vac MV7300. I'll try to get it out of here for you. Pneumativac air-operated fluid evacuator. I'm sorry. I can't talk right now. I'm so thirsty. But something just fell over behind me. These things are pretty awesome for getting fluid out of cars. Oh, if you have one, great. If you don't have one, well, now's your chance. Just like the last one, totally free. You don't have to buy anything. I just want to give this to somebody to show my appreciation for watching and subscribing to my channel. All you have to do is comment in this video with the word fluid, F-L-U-I-D, fluid. You could say you want the fluid evacuator or whatever. Just as long as you have the word fluid in your comment, I'll be able to look for it and pick out a winner. So thanks again, and back to working on the car. I've gotten pretty much as far as I want to get with this motor being on the stand. So I guess I need to get ready to put it back in the car. And, well, I'm leaving the valve covers off because I want to, once I get it back in there and put some oil in it, I want to prime that pump. Make sure everything's working the way it should. I still want to clean this engine bay up a little more and throw a little bit of paint in here. Maybe even try and clean that transmission up. I was on the fence whether I wanted to pull the trans out all the way. I'm just going to leave it in there and deal with it that way. But, yeah, I kind of need to move some stuff out of the way so I can get the pressure washer out. It's over there. I just went and picked up some diesel fuel for it. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Oh, I gotta get this down and outside to do this because it's just gonna make a huge mess inside here. So I'm thinking I'll run a strap across the bottom of the trans and the exhaust. Try and hold the exhaust and the trans up. That sounds like a good plan, right? I hope. Did I mention today's my birthday? Yay, happy birthday, Jim. Yay. No, I'm trying hard to enjoy my birthday. I really am. But got everything moved out of the way except for this. And it decided to start pouring out. Yes, I get it. I'm using a pressure washer, but I didn't want to stand in the rain doing this shit. Well, after realizing that the weather's not going to get any better for a couple days, I decided to listen to a couple friends' advice and put on my big boy pants and raincoat and just deal with it. So, got everything set up outside. I think, make sure this hose ain't leaking. Oh yeah, it's leaking. That's good. All right, I'm gonna take care of this. Well, that worked out pretty good. The top half of my body is perfectly dry. Now the bottom half, however, is a little wet. Let's just leave it at that. Got all cleaned up out here. I'm now leaking trans fluid for some reason. I'm not positive why. Kind of wonder if, see how far forward the trans is now? I wonder if the drive shaft slipped out of the bag of trans. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But where that came from. Let this dry and see how it looks tomorrow, I guess. It's definitely not going to want to dry right now because, you know, the obvious. The air's a little moist. So, sitting here watching the car dry, I came to a conclusion. I'm gonna have to pull the trans out. Oh yeah, my arms are getting wet now. Damn. I'm gonna have to pull the trans out to reseal it, because the more I thought about it and the more I investigated things, the reason the transmission covered in what looks like oil is that front seal is bad. And when I pulled everything apart, there was a little puddle of fluid inside the bell housing. You get where I'm going with this. I'm pretty positive that front seal is bad, and I would be a complete idiot not to take care of it right now. So I think the transmission's coming out. should have just taken it out with the motor to begin with, but, you know, trying to, you know, do things the right way. I don't know. I do have other C6s floating around. So, I mean, if I wanted to, I could take one of these and put seals in it and have it ready to go in. Theoretically, I would assume the transmission is in good working order, since we now know why the car was parked. And it wasn't the transmission, I think. So, yeah, I'm going to, probably tomorrow, I'll get back here tomorrow. I'm probably going to pull that trans out and just deal with it. All right, we're getting back to working on this thing. I had to clean up my work area. It was getting a little crazy, I'm not going to lie. I had to make things a little neater. And Neil's over here helped me today. He got the car back up in the air so we could pull the trans out, because, like I said, I decided I'm just going to pull the trans out and replace the seals in it, because that's the right thing to do, because it's a nice car. Like I say, it's a nice car. So I got the engine bay cleaned up some, threw some satin paint down and chassis and whatnot, and I mean it's looking pretty good. It's gonna be a good looking car. Hopefully this engine runs like it should, you know. And I couldn't stop there. I had to throw some header paint on the exhaust manifolds, because you can't have a nice looking engine with crappy looking exhaust manifolds. But yeah, we're pretty close to being able to get this motor back together and back inside the car. And I was just talking to Silas, trying to plan another trip out there for a couple more vehicles. One of which he accidentally crushed, that I already agreed to buy off him. But it's okay. He told me he restored it today. He put the fork and pulled the roof back up for me. But it's all right. It was just a parts car, so I'm not totally heartbroken. We're definitely gonna need to do something about this fuel tank though before we try to drive this thing. I was able to find a new old stock fuel sending unit on eBay for like $50. I couldn't believe it. It's way here, and I have a new tank. I think it's in the trunk of the car. So yeah, I'm gonna work on throwing these manifolds on this motor. And I think Neil's gonna pull the trans out for me. And like that, the workbench is full of crap again. But it's okay, because I was doing work. Just cleaned up these holes, discovered that this one and this one both need a helicoil. Yay, helicoils. I don't think I have any here, so I'll have to get them from home, bring them tomorrow, take care of that. I think I got a vacuum fitting. I got to swap over from the other intake. Maybe I have time to do that right now. Just look over the original intake real quick, see if there's anything else. Neil's working diligently on the exhaust.
Drive shaft removed.
Drive shaft removed. Okay. And it's almost quitting time for me. What's up?
Service or replace U-joints.
Yeah.
And rear brake line.
All right. Line. Yeah. Service and replace U-joint and rear rubber lines. Oh yeah, looks that way. I got my $30 Duralast helicoil. Yeah, $30 for this damn thing. And a 21/64 drill bit. And I'm trying to fix this, I guess. Wish me luck. It's been a while since I did these. Well, I think I got them fixed. I holds a bolt, both of them, so I think we're good to go. We'll see, right? And there we have it. Throttle cable bracket is securely installed finally. That can wait. I need to put the carburetor on, obviously. That's gonna that's gonna wait till get the engine in the car. All right, a little late start today, but I do have the whole day to myself, and I can stay here as late as I want today. I'm gonna start with taking advantage of this beautiful weather we're having today. It's supposed to be even nicer out tomorrow. As I was saying before, I was very rudely interrupted by a dying battery, which died at 12%, mind you. I don't understand that one. I decided to take advantage of this day and finish cleaning up this trans so I can get some seals back in it and try to get this car back together. Got that thing cleaned up pretty good. Got that cleaned up. Cross members cleaned up pretty well. A little bit more gunk in there I gotta clean out. Ooh, it's hot. And then I gotta do the trans. And you guys are going back in the Charger. Got everything out here drying for a little bit, so I can throw some paint on the rest of this stuff. I need to figure out how to get that seal out without taking the pump out. Everything I've read, like forums online, say you got to pull the pump out to replace the seal, and I don't think that's right. Now, I found a YouTube video of a guy taking apart the pump, so I asked him a question. Hey, can I just replace the seal without taking the pump out? And he's like, you sure can. Seal remover, put a couple self tappers in the seal and pry it up on out of there, and find something to, you know, like a pipe or something to tap the new one in. So it shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. I think I should be able to handle it, no problem. I don't mess with automatic transmissions too often, so hope you understand. The back should be pretty self-explanatory. Should be able to pop that one out with a flathead screwdriver or something. And same deal. Piece of pipe or something, big socket to put a new one on. Then I gotta do the filter and the transmission pan gasket. And should be ready to bolt the motor to the trans and get it all dropped back inside the car. Something kind of fun that I just noticed to show you guys real quick. Not that it matters. Look at the VIN. 146353. Stamped into the back of the motor. 146353. It's also stamped into the transmission. 146353. There's more to it, but got me a numbers matching 73 Ford LTD. Oh boy. Yeah, if this is like a Boss 429 Mustang or Mach 1 or something, that would be a huge bonus when you're restoring the car. It's a 73 LTD though, so not really. Still kind of cool, I think. Numbers matching car. Well, I'm gonna get the engine hoist out. Wish me luck. Ha ha ha. Just remember to put the block spacer plate on before you put the flex plate back on. I can't talk, I need a drink. Flex plate bolts are all torqued down. 75, 80 pounds on the flex plate. If you don't already have a flywheel turner, get yourself one. It'll make your life doing this way easier, trust me. Transmission is bolted to the motor. Torque converter studs are lined up with the flex plate. There's only one way that the torque converter lines up with the flex plate, so if you think you have it wrong, you probably do. If you think you don't, you probably don't. Make sense? Make sure the torque converter is fully seated into the transmission before you try to bolt the transmission up to the motor. Otherwise, you'll break things, destroy things. You get the idea. It's going to be a very costly mistake if you don't do it. And that is where I'm stopping tonight because I am really tired and really hungry. And it's getting late. Well, want to see you guys next? That is going on that. Well, it's an absolutely gorgeous day out today. It's supposed to be like 60. And I decided to spend it trying to cram this motor and trans back in this car. I decided to try to put the trans lines on the motor and trans, drop it in. I think this bolts to engine cross member, and they sit up underneath here, so I don't think there's gonna be a way to get them in separately. So I'm gonna tighten those down, and I'm gonna do the trans filter and gasket after it's back in the car. Inside it's just gonna be easier that way. Try not to add to the collection up here. See, this was already here. Now I know why it was here, because they pulled the motor out and hit it. I gotta remember to put that dampener on the back of the trans back on there after it's in there. But yeah. Oh. All right. Well, wish me luck. I'll tell you what. Putting the engine and transmission in as an assembly, nightmare fuel. This car needs to be like at least a foot shorter in the front end, because look at that setback on the engine, and the boom only goes out so far. And yep, that one was there. I told you I was gonna try my hardest not to add to the collection, but unfortunately I did. We're not gonna talk about that anymore. The struggle is real with this one. Yeah, if I wasn't by myself today, I'd have someone trying to record some of this nightmare. It was ridiculous. But motor's in, motor mounts are bolted in. Very, very glad that I attached the trans lines to the assembly, because there's no way I was gonna get them in otherwise, unless I pulled that motor mount back off. But no idea what that noise is behind me. Haven't a clue. Motor's in, sitting level. Do not have the trans mount on. Like I said, I'm gonna do the transmission filter and gasket next, probably, and then get the trans cross member back in and do the tedious task of reattaching everything, and hopefully we have a good motor. So I need to get washed up and go to a kid's birthday party where my son is at right now. And yeah, I'm tired. Good news, everybody. We've got oil pressure. The only one I couldn't get it to come out of was this one. So I might have to do some investigating on that one. But all the rest are working just like they should. I wonder if that has something to do with, because this one's got tension on it because it's on a stroke. All right, I really gotta go though. I think we're good to go on oil pressure. I don't see any leaks, so that's good. I rotated the crank about half turn and repeated what I did yesterday with the drill. Today's the next day, in case you didn't notice. That's all I had time for right now. But we've got oil coming up through all the push rods. All the lifters are pumping up. So I think we're good. Well, at least for initial startup. So I'm not going to bore you with all the assembly details. Pretty much just put stuff back together. It's kind of boring. So cue the assembly montage. See you in a bit. Well, I apologize. Camera died at some point through that epic assembly montage, and I didn't realize it. But I think it's good enough so that I hook this battery up, turn the key, and see if it cranks over. See if I at least hook the starter up right. At least do that much. If that goes okay, I'll spray something in the carb and see if I did things the right way. Let's tighten down. That's there. This video is already going to be long enough. I don't have. It's a funny thing when you buy a trans filter and gasket these days. I guess you need to check and make sure the gasket's in there. No gasket, so I still need to get a gasket for the trans filter. Trans pan. Is it gonna crank over? All right, cranks over, nice and even. I think I did that right. A little nervous, but I'm gonna throw something down the carb and see if it lights off, I guess. See if all my work was for something or nothing. Wish me luck. I think I hooked everything up right. That is... Yeah, that's going there. That's going there. That's there. Let's try something a little more powerful, I guess. Oh, it's possible I have the distributor in wrong, I guess. So anything's possible. It's something. Oh boy. Oh, this sucks. It's all the way down there. You know what? It could still be 180 off. Oh. This is ridiculous to get this in here. I can't get this. This is ridiculous. Let's try something. All right, so if it was 180 off, it should be close enough now that it should do something, or try to do something. I don't like this carburetor either. We'll get to that later. Just want to hear it do something. Holy crap, it did something. It did something. started. It ran. Didn't sound like it didn't have oil pressure either. This is awesome. I did something right. Look at that. I'll be damned. See, every so often I do things right, I hope. That's where I'm leaving you guys off right here, because I haven't edited this video yet. I don't know how long it's going to be. I have a feeling this could be a long-ass video. So, we're basically back to where we started, which is good. Just like a month later, and a lot of work later. So, well, come see me next time. We make sure this is a good running engine now, which is, I fingers crossed, should be. Still got to button up hooking up the carburetor, just reroute these wires a little bit. I gotta bolt down the coil. I gotta put a gasket on the trans and fill the trans. And gas tank and setting unit also. Now that we know it's all back together and it will start, I got a good baseline again, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and see you in a little bit, I swear.